search of the 3 missing Montgomery College students continues in Frederick County.
And I got to play with your wand. It was great.
Definitely fun.
Oh, keep going.
Period. All right, guys, welcome to a new episode of Footage Foreplay. And we're joined by the great Rebekah Kennedy. Hey, girl.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad we made this happen.
Yes, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
1000%. We talked about you coming on here since we started the show. And my first introduction to you was this movie. If you guys have ever heard of this, called Bastard.
That was so long ago.
Look at the little baby face. Yeah.
That's not me, but yes.
Yeah, that's not you. We don't get into you. But no, this was, I don't know, this was probably the best one out of this series of 8 Films to Die For. I think this series killed the 8 Films to Die For because we didn't get another line after this series.
That was it, yeah.
This was it. Because they were all bad, except for this one. I like this one. But this one, I don't know who made this. You said Patrick Young, Powell Robinson. I don't know. They got a sick mind. They got a brother and sister that they was fucking to get pregnant. And then you got a cop killer, and then you got those 5 people, like a regular serial killer movie with 5 friends. And then you have these serial killers, then you have this brother and sister on the run. This movie was crazy, but I liked it. Rebekah,
thank you.
What do you think of this?
The like you said, those guys, they're amazing. They're they're still working, making films. This was their first film out of USC. They were like 22. So, I have a lot of respect because it's obviously hard to make a movie in general, but to make a feature that young, they're amazing. Yeah.
I'd like to have your shit together in any regard at that.
And this is her.
Is pretty good. You're doing pretty good.
That is me.
So, Rebekah, did they have sick minds?
Yes.
I mean, they write some pretty. Are we allowed to curse on the show? I don't know.
Yeah.
Terrell couldn't be on here if we couldn't.
They write a lot of fucked up stuff. So, I just worked with Pal. He also is a DP as well, and I just worked with him on. I am in a segment of the new VHS Halloween.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yes, we're excited. Okay.
It is a very fucked up short. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but the one I did was super, super. Yeah, I can't say anything, but we roll with that. We roll with that.
But you have played in some fucked up shit. Like, all your movies is fucked up, to be honest. As well as 2 Witches. I love this movie so much. There's a beautiful cover.
He's got a pile beside him.
The next one. No, I love it.
Anyways, you were great in this, and I was rooting for you. I don't care what nobody say. I think I told you that one.
You did. And, it's funny because that was my first time I'd ever played like a true villain where somebody that's like very not even really anything redeemable about her. But I had a lot of people that were like loved her. And so that was great because I didn't know when I was filming it. I was like, oh, I don't know how they're going to feel about this character. Yeah. So it was great to see and hear that people were like, yeah, she was amazing. So I'm like, yes. So anyway. Random story. But.
Yeah.
Terrell was rooting for you the whole. I saw that movie. Terrell had been telling me to watch it forever. Then our good friend Ilan Sheedy did the incredible art for the Arrow release, which congratulations on being a part of Arrow. But
thank you.
Yeah, that's tight.
Terrell the whole time kept telling me to watch it. And I'm like, okay, dude, like I know I'll like it. And when I sat down and watched it, I couldn't get over just how interesting the story was. And God, that sounds like such a I don't know, coded negative thing to say, but I actually thought it was a little bit of a highbrow approach to the storytelling here, and I was kind of confused why Terrell was such a champion for it. But he glommed onto your character in a way that made me kind of question Terrell a little bit here, because I'm like, dude, she's fucked up in that movie, like brutal. And he was like, I don't care. I love her. She's my girl. We be DMing.
Yeah. That's the key is you got to do the personal connection and then they're like, they're in,
Wait, so when did you guys start talking? Because Terrell's been bragging about talking to you forever. Was it because of Bastards?
It might have been. It was a long time. I don't know. I didn't do I don't know how long we've been following each other. I could probably look at Instagram.
Bastard I filmed back in it came out in 2015.
Yes, it's a long time ago. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that probably would have been the first thing you saw, because before that, that was like my first feature in LA that I like I had done like a Lifetime movie, but that was like the first like film.
Yeah.
And a lot of my other work I had done like while I lived in Texas. So I was filming in like Virginia and Louisiana, and I had, you know, like smaller parts in some of those. And then I had, shout out to the South. And then I did a film called House Hunting. So that was probably the first one that you probably saw.
Yeah, it was Bastard, I think. Yep. Because you have a lot of stuff. You were in The Veil. That was pretty solid. Conduit. I'm trying to think of Los Angeles. That was a little different for you.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a big one. That was because you did a lot of horror. You did shows too, like 911. I love 911. I think you did 911. It was Station 19.
Station 19.
That's what it was. Yeah, you did all kinds of stuff. I've been following you, girl. Period.
He's like, just pulls out the.
I know. Oh, I could have. I don't have all those. I do have the Veal. I couldn't find it. But
what about like Season of the Witch?
Yes, I was in Season of the Witch. That was my first big film that I worked on with Nicolas Cage.
Doesn't say that's Nicolas Cage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was so kind and gracious and generous, and just a cool, as cool as you'd think he is. Yeah.
So do you have that movie, Terrell?
Sorry, there you go. Am I freezing again?
No. Your playback is completely fine, which is why it's confusing on our end.
Got it. It's so weird. Okay. When we stopped, did you guys all leave, or was it just me?
Just you.
Just you.
Okay. I don't know if it's okay. Anyways,
are you struggling? What's going on? I know this has to be killing you, dude. I know you've been looking forward to this.
I know. This is horrible. All right. So let's take it a little back, Rebekah. So I want to know a little bit about what got you into horror, but what started your acting career? Because I read that, girl, you picked up acting because you didn't get picked for the cheerleading squad. Let's get into that.
Yeah, no, that's true. So I wanted to be an actor since I was 4. My mom took me to see my first play, and children's play. It's, I don't even remember the play, but I remember looking at her and saying, like, I want to do that. And because I was 4, my mom was like, okay, like, cool, like, you're 4. So we kind of moved on, and I kept bringing it up every once in a while. And it's still, it was Texas. It was a long time ago. It wasn't like the resources there is now to like, just how do we do this? So it kept kind of just getting pushed off. And I was doing other things. I was playing piano, and my older sister was doing a lot of stuff. And we were busy. And finally, like you said, when I was 12, I tried out for the cheerleading squad, and all my friends, because that's what the thing to do. Looking back now, it's like, did not have a desire to be a cheerleader really, but all my friends were doing it. And it was like, you got to be cool,
Yeah.
And I did not make the squad. So I was devastated, of course, as one is. And I went home and I was just really upset about it for a few days. And my mom, so she finally said, okay, what else can we do instead? Do you still want to try acting? And I was like, I do, yes. So she found a local children's group that, anyone that auditions could be in the show. You audition for the different parts, but, they didn't turn anyone away. So it was a good way to see, like, do I actually want to do this? Because a lot of people, they want to be actors, but like, then they get into it and they're like, this is terrible. Or, like, I don't actually love this. Or, the rejection is the worst or whatever. So, it was a good way of her not having to, spend a lot of money to see if I actually want to do this at 12. So, they had already started rehearsing. It was The Music Man. But they were gracious and put me in some numbers. And my mom said that she dropped me off the first day and then came to pick me up and just was waiting, watching us rehearse. And she said she saw my face and she's like, I knew it. That was it. And it was. Aww. I never stopped. I did theater all through junior high and high school. And I went to college for theater. And I had every intention of moving to New York after I went to school in Florida. And I moved back to Texas to, get my bearings, like save some money, figure out what I was going to do. And film and TV kind of came along, and then I haven't stopped since. So that's a long answer to it.
No, I love it. Your journey. It's crazy.
Also
now
a long journey. So.
Yeah. No, that's good. So what got you into what got you into horror? Because I know you're a horror fan too. So what's got you into that? Yeah, so some of your favorites.
Yeah, so I remember I saw my first horror film. It was the It miniseries.
Oh, yes. So good. That scared me as a kid.
Oh, so good. At 11, when I was at my friend's birthday party, it was back in the Blockbuster days.
Oh yes,
So I'm
throwback.
aging myself
Rest in
here, but
peace.
yeah, we convinced my friend's dad to let us rent that movie. I don't know why. Like they should have said no, but I scarred my friend for life. And what's the best thing is she still like can't watch them, but her daughter is now going into her freshman year. She's in her freshman year of high school and loves horror. And I was like, see, that's what you get.
Yeah.
So now they're excited to go see Traumatika, next weekend.
Yes, September 12th.
Yes, that was my first like introduction, and then I just never stopped watching. I never intended on being in them. It wasn't like that was a goal of mine necessarily.
Right.
It's the first things I started to book, and I think people look at me and they're like, "Oh, she's pale and small and look good with blood on her," and
It works out.
Yeah, it works out. So that's and then when you do one or two, then people see you that way, and they start wanting you to do more. And some of my favorites are. My favorite is probably The Sixth Sense is one of my favorites for sure.
Oh, that's a good
Hell
one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as an actor, when I saw that movie in the theater, there had been other films that had done it before. The Exorcist, obviously, The Shining, as far as character development, but that was one of the first ones because I was older at that point that hit me as like, oh my God, as an actor, you can do this genre, but like underneath it, it's really a drama. It's really about two characters trying to find a connection with somebody, trying to find someone that understands them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so beautiful. And I cried at the end and I still cry every time I watch it. And it's like, that was one that just really, I was like, wow, you can do so much within this. Like there's a place obviously for the slashers and the running from the monster and whatever. But for me as an actor, I was like, oh God, like it's so beautiful underneath the horror, if that makes sense.
Anyway, I get that. I love this. No, so you also...
I love that you chose an M. Night movie because I'm a big Lady in the Water defender around these parts. Oh boy. And everybody is anti-Lady in the Water, but I walked out the theater. So hard.
I remember that when it came out, I was all excited. I went to go watch that, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I went right across the way was The Descent, and I went to go watch that again because I love The Descent. Have y'all seen The Descent? That movie's great.
Yeah,
but I like Lady in the Water better.
Oh, wow. Some fighting.
I know. We're moving on. All right. So another thing that I wanted to ask you about is, in your acting career, you're going for roles. You talked about rejection, all this good stuff. So were you up for a role in Twilight? That's a huge movie. Tell me about Twilight.
I was never going to book that. Like, let's be honest. I was never going to book it. Like, it was so cute that back then I thought I had a chance. Yeah. I never had a chance.
I could see you in that. You talk about how pale you were and all this stuff. You could have been a sparkling vampire.
Yeah,
you could have killed that.
And I was Dakota Fanning. I was like, of course. Like, of course she's doing the part. Like, why would they pick me when they could have her? I mean, that's... but yeah, no, I did. It was fun. It was cool to, have opportunities to even, audition. Even though it was like,
that's amazing.
A long shot, obviously. But that's what we do. We try and we get rejected and we keep trying.
You keep moving. And now that you're here, and we're going to get into Traumatika, but last thing, you did have, you like horror, and you also, you write short stories, right?
I've never, I do. No one has ever read them.
Oh, no. Oh, so you never put that out or nothing? My next question to that was like, would you ever like put together like a little short based on your short?
So I don't know if you guys remember, this is really, I don't think I've ever admitted this in an interview, Live Journal.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. So they're there, but no one has.
Oh, we got some tea.
There.
Okay.
You'll never find them. You'll never find them. But
wait, is that true for you too, Terrell?
What?
Did you have live? Now I know. I
didn't have Live Journal.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
Now I do. Terrell, I think, did mention on the show that he has written Buffy fan fiction that nobody's read before.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I did. That. I wrote because Buffy. Oh, as you can see, my coffee mug. Buffy is my favorite show. Do you like Buffy? Becca?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are you excited about the reboot?
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna go. It's not gonna be like because I grew up with it. It started when I was 7, ended when I was 14. I watched it every Tuesday. It was like a whole thing. Like my little brother, sister could not come in the room. They cannot talk. Like, girl, like stay away. And when I got in trouble, my punishment would be like, oh no, Buffy on Tuesday, and I was just no, So I had to make sure I press record on Tuesday. So I watched it. I never missed an episode. But yeah, so. Where was I going with that? Yeah, so when it ended, I was just devastated. So you know what? I'm gonna write my own stories, and I still have them. But they're in the books, so no one will ever see them. They'll be hidden somewhere, unless I die and someone finds them. But yeah, right. I do have some stories. Yes.
So let's arrange a little trade.
There we go.
She don't want us reading her stories. That's why she didn't go find them. But I thought that was
in the middle of a foggy bridge somewhere.
Yeah, a dark alley.
Yeah. And they're online, so even if my house burns down, I know one will find them still.
Rebecca,
I don't even know if I could get into them anymore. It's one of those, where you're like, it's like MySpace, where you're like, can I even remember how to get
I don't even remember my stuff for that.
Yeah, I can't get into my old Tumblr. I have no idea how to get into that. Like all those old
Isn't Tumblr
social
gone?
sites. No, there's still a Tumblr. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how popular it is, but it does still exist. Yeah.
Well, they removed the nudity, so Evan stopped going on there. So.
Yeah, I lost interest after
along with everybody else.
Okay, well, y'all have Twitter for that. So, Becca, did you so your short stories, were they like horror? Were they like just personal stuff, or were they like, I don't know, love stories? Like, what kind of stories were you like you would tell?
Not so much horror. It was just there's like a lot of. I didn't even say stories. It was also a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
I was, again, I have never admitted this, so I don't even know if I should. I was also a part of this community where you would write like anonymously, so no one knew it was me, right?
Yeah.
So
4chan?
What?
No, dude, you can remove that. I said, so 4chan?
Oh, yeah, 4chan. Oh, I got you. No, not like that. But it was like, kind of like Reddit, but not, like
Got
it was. And so you could write these, like you followed people, you were friends with people, and then you could write, like your, whatever your entries, and then other people would comment but you didn't have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it was so I would write that, like it would just be like stories, but also just stuff, and then it slowly just kind of died, and I did a lot of it in like college. It was like big, and then it kind of just like that kind of just I don't think it's still a thing anymore.
It was a different way for you to express yourself, and like you don't have to like have a face to it. You just like, I get this out. No, it was like before understand. Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and X or whatever were like big. So like you got a place to put stuff, but it wasn't like you weren't writing like a status, right? It wasn't like I went to the store. It was like people were writing actual like pieces, and then you could comment on it. And anyway, so I don't think I've ever talked about that. So
I miss those kind of message, those kind of like message boards and stuff. I feel like those were. I don't know, like a pillar of the internet, like in the 2000s, and now it's kind of all switched to, like you said, X and Instagram and all that stuff. And I just feel like there was a lot more authenticity on those message boards, even though you were behind an anonymous name, than there is now that you're being yourself on a site,
Right. Yeah, because people could really express themselves, not in a bad way, but like in a, like they were needing, like they're feeling down, or they're feeling like they just needed to write. And it could be something to do with them. It could be nothing to do with them. It was just like, man, I hear you. So anyway, long tangent to this story, but that's, so I've never written like a screenplay or anything like that. I do like writing. Sometimes you'll catch it on Facebook or whatever, if I feel inspired to write something, but I've started writing stuff when I'm very young, and fun fact, I won second or third grade. I won first place in a writing thing competition.
Oh, see? Okay.
I don't know. So anyway, so we'll see. Maybe one day I'll write something, but I feel trying to get this all figured out. So
yeah. That'll be fun though. You write a little script or a little story, do a short. Maybe it could be found footage, and we could show it at the unnamed footage.
Hey, there you go.
That would be great. Yes.
There you go. Yes.
All right. So, Traumatika.
Yes.
So we had Max and Pierre on here last week or so.
Yeah,
and thank you for listening to that. They're really cool people.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love the episode. It was very fun.
Yes. So now that movie is dropping this. I don't know when this episode's going up. It does come out September 12th. And you play Abigail in this movie. And girl, oh my God, how do you get into these? Like, you're good at these like creepy, like, I don't know, like dark characters. Do you have to like put yourself in a certain, because you're not like that really in person, but do you have to put yourself like in those as like a different type of zone or different type of headspace to get into that? Like, talk about it.
Yeah. That's a great question. Mm-hmm. So before I get to set, the main thing that I have to do for these kind of characters, because I can't relate to what's happening in the situation, thankfully, I have to figure out what I can connect to personally in some way.
Yeah.
So I look at her and I'm like, okay, what underneath what's happening? What is at the core of her? And really, she's a person that's lost and confused and feels like no one could possibly understand her situation, and no one kind of sees her. She's in this impossible thing and doesn't have anyone helping. And I feel like all of us at some point in our life can relate to that. I definitely can. And so I start there with like what I can connect to. And because in the situation, then like you said, on set, that's all built, and, you're on set and you're with the director and they're guiding you, and you're, that's all great. But I can't get in there if I don't know where she's coming from and why she's fighting. Yeah. Or whatever, whether for this case, like her sister. And that's a very palpable thing for me. My acting coach always says, if you can't fight for yourself, fight for someone else. And that often can be stronger than even fighting for you, is fighting for her. And she's a child. So it's like, what would I be willing to do if it were me, Rebekah, if it was a family member that I loved, my husband, my family, that was at stake, what would I be willing to do? So then when I'm on set, like often I'll tell the guys like, hey, if you can't find me, I'm off in the corner, muttering to myself or getting in the zone. And they're so lovely. They create such a safe, supportive environment for me, and to be able to take risks. And I don't know if they talked about it in this episode, but they've talked about in other ones about we were able to take stuff further than they even planned, because they just create such a place for me to be able to do my best work, hopefully do my best work. And I don't feel unsupported. I feel supported, and knowing that it's safe and like there's a controlled environment, and then I'm free to do whatever I need to do, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm in there as much as I can be, and a lot of it is imagination and a lot of it is play. And then, seeing what happens on the day, because it's an indie film. We don't have a lot of time to rehearse. I mean, you're rehearsing for the camera, you're figuring out blocking, making sure it's safe, but I don't have like weeks or months to like go over these scenes. We're finding it when the camera is rolling, so. Yeah.
Now, I don't think we've ever talked about it on here, but everybody here has been in front of a camera at some point or another. Others, like some of us belong there, like Terrell. Some of us think we belong there, like Evan. And then I don't belong there, and I didn't want to be there. But I know my experience. I had an extra scene in a bar, and all I had to do was just exist and not talk and pretend like I can't explain how in my head I was. And I started to think about like actors, like a lot of people who don't act like to talk about how a lot of actors are like emotionally unstable. Like you have to be able to access like core emotions on a whim. And I've spent, I think, probably my whole life trying to bottle my emotions and control my outward appearance. It might not look like it, but I found it near impossible for me to like go anywhere with that. And do you think you're like an emotional person, or are those like available to you?
Yeah. So I would like to say I'm not emotionally unstable. I hope. I mean, maybe my husband would feel different. he'd be like, you could use some help.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
But I definitely, my emotions are accessible. I wear my heart very close to my sleeve. Like it's not terribly difficult for me to get emotional. Good or bad, I don't know. As an actor, I guess that's good, especially with the stuff that I do and play. It's, but I also am like very much want it to be as authentic as possible and not, oh, I can cry because I'm thinking about dead puppies on the side and then I'm bringing that into the scene.
Yeah.
And while it can work, if the audience isn't feeling anything watching, then we're not really doing our job as an actor. Like our job is to make the audience feel, not us have a buffet of emotions and like pat ourselves on the back. Good job. So I remember this is a tangent really quick, but my teacher was telling us a story because you brought this up about, he was first in college and, he was doing a scene or a monologue or something. And he said, I was just weeping and I was feeling all the things and it was just amazing. And then he finished and the teacher was like, how did you feel about that? And he's like, oh, I felt really good. I was just such a release and I feel really great about the work. And he was like, that's great because we didn't feel a fucking thing.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, I love that. And he's like, that opened my eyes because it doesn't, yes, we are, we want to be feeling and we want to be, as an actor, we want to be in the moment and whatever. But if the audience is watching, like, then it doesn't matter what we're doing because that's not our job. Our job is to like put it to you. And whether it be you're crying or laughing or hate someone or love someone or whatever, feelings of some kind is our job. So yes, I am accessible easily. I still don't want it to be a shtick or a thing that I can do. I can make myself cry on cue. I can make, that's only actors that can cry on cue. It's only impressive if you're a child.
Oh.
If you're an adult, that's just being an actor. You should be able to do whatever you need to do. Or, if you can't, then you need to get into a class to learn how to access. And that doesn't mean to access your emotions. That doesn't mean you have to cry or be sad. But you have to be vulnerable. You have to be private in public or the audience will never connect to you or care. So that's my take on that.
So, okay. So on the professional level,
all right, hold on.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like, so, okay. So professionally you need to be able to like tap into that. But what about like after a long shoot going home, do you still have like control? Like I haven't watched the football in forever. I almost called it the football. It's been that long.
The football.
But in the NFL, I kept hearing about a ejection due to spitting.
Yeah,
I saw that the other night. Yeah, he spit on the guy's face.
Yeah,
I'm a Cowboys fan, so that was during our game. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's nasty.
So a lot of the conversation was just about like, sport ethics. Like you have to be out there and be professional. But the thing I kept thinking about was, when you're on the field, you're at the brink of like utter brutality. Like you really got to channel this like animal. And it's like, and then you go off the court and somebody says some shit. Like it's crazy that there aren't more fights. Like that's like how professional these people are. And like the spitting thing, I kept thinking about like acting. Like I as a non-actor, I think this is why we attribute so many divorces to like actor couples. And like, you just imagine that these actors are like unhinged people, but clearly you have control here. And the only thing you're trying to hide is online. So that's fine. That's what everybody says.
Or is this an act on here? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to, it is a tightrope always when you're in a scene and you're doing something that is really emotionally draining or exhausting or like not even emotional, but just high risk. Like you guys have seen the movie. So, there were several scenes like the pregnancy scene or the scene with the dad where.
Oh, he was evil. That's the one that you hate.
Like you mentioned just earlier. A movie, dude.
I know, it's mad.
I Sean is the nicest guy too. And
is he?
Oh, I mean, I recommended him because I knew
he looks so scary.
I knew that I wanted someone that I could trust and, you know, isn't going to be creepy on set. But where we could do something, like we could do more than what they even planned. I mean, originally Pierre planned in that scene just to do a wide and to cut away like a, you know, a pan, and then you just get what's happening. And he had thought about a scene like the what we did, the close up of my face, and he was like, I don't think we need it. And I was like, you should get it while we're here. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, we should get it while you're here.
Oh, that's what was used. Okay.
And it's not to say like bragging or anything. It just, for me, it was like you're introduced to this character that is at the most horrific moment in her life. She's doing horrific things. And if you're going to feel anything for her going forward at the second part of the movie, when you find out why she is the way she is, then it's got to, those things have to be in your face, because that is happening to people. You know, there are women, girls, men, children that are having that happen to them. So I was like, I don't think we can shy away from what happened to her, because this is what shaped her life. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, like I have to put it into a box and, you know, so that I can go home and like be a wife and and a friend and a person and a, you know, and while I'm filming, I don't see it, but my husband will say that there are things that are different. It doesn't feel different to me. I don't feel like I'm going home being like, rah, or whatever, but he says he feels like a different energy. And then when I'm wrapped, it kind of dissipates, which is interesting. I'm like, what is it? He's like, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like something is just, you know, kind of clouding a little, not clouding, but like is in ruminating, I guess. Which is one thing I love about shooting in another place is like, I don't have to come home and like be anybody for anybody. I can just like go to my hotel and like, just like,
I get you. Yep. And decompress.
Did that answer your question? I feel like I just went on a long
No,
tangent.
I'm really like fascinated with it, because you know, whenever you think about like, who are we, or like, what are we? And it's kind of like, we're a combination of experiences. And I think I have a pretty good imagination, and I could imagine kind of convincing myself that things are different and trying to like act it out. Ultimately, I like you said, you have to be vulnerable. And I've been spending a lot of time trying to do that. Like trying to get, like, you know, like anybody who wouldn't dance at like a middle school dance. It's like, you're not being vulnerable enough. You're not allowing yourself to have fun. And that's what it felt like on set for me. So I'm just like, man, I could see somebody who's kind of like just completely open here. And, you know, they go to the grocery store and you get that one clerk who gives you attitude, and you just like, you know, tap into the Two Witches character. Because you could, you know, like if you had that kind of control, why not?
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's interesting you say that, because as people, we're taught to put walls up.
Yeah.
We're taught not to show emotion. We're taught to be strong, be resilient. You know, crying is for the weak. And then as an actor, you have to tear all of that down.
Right.
Because if you can't, then it's really hard to connect to the audience. I mean, sure, you can. I mean, there are actors, I'm sure, that are whatever. But as far as the greats that I watch, it's like and again, it's not about like crying, but it's just, they're so open that you're just like mesmerized. You know, it's like you could just watch them read the phone book, and they're just, you know, there's something about them that is just like, they're allowing you to, you know, be a viewer into their private life. Like if you were to walk in, the best scenes are ones that if you were to walk into the scene, you'd go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like want to leave. Not, I'm watching a scene. Do
you scare yourself watching yourself in these movies? I'm just wondering.
I mean, usually the first time I'm watching, I try not to be critical of myself. It's hard, because you're like, oh God, like I should have done this. Or,
I get that for sure.
And then once I've seen it, I can kind of let that go, because it's too late.
What can you do?
The film is what it is. They're not going to change it. So, and then, you know, of course, we're always our own worst critics, and we hate things that no one else sees. And, I mean, it's me, so it's hard to say like, oh, I see myself.
Because the characters,
Yeah.
Well, before we get off the acting, do you spend a lot of time in the mirror? Like a lot of your roles are horror, and they kind of are physically demanding of you.
Yeah.
And just to like make the poster worthy faces that you do, like, do you practice that?
Some, yeah, sure. I mean, I remember Jim Carrey saying like he used to
Jim Carrey
growing up, like do that in the mirror.
I like him.
And yeah, I mean, you for Two Witches especially, because I again never played a role quite like that. So I was like, I got to see this. Is this working? Is this like playing? And thankfully Pierre is so wonderful that he could guide the performance and tell me like if stuff's working or it's not working, or sometimes you think you're doing something and then you're like, that didn't show up at all. And he's great, of course, about getting angles and making me look the best in the most horrific way possible. Which
so
also,
you heard that podcast. Did you get what I was saying about like, it's so strange to me that we get these filmmakers from France who come to LA and then want to make like, they want to play, like wade in the mud and start making horror movies. I mean, immediately I'm like, oh, you guys are going to be homies. But I'm like, just the culture out here, every conversation I've ever had, if we're at the Yerba Buena or if we're out here at the Castro Cinema Palace, like, it's always, we hold France in such high regard for cinema.
Yeah.
And then to meet those two very competent, interesting filmmakers, it's like, damn, y'all came out here? Like,
I know. It's funny because they often have a lot of French people on there working on the movies. So I always joke because they're all talking in French and I'm like, because they say they can communicate faster in French because, sometimes, when you're, English will still be obviously their second language. So it's like,
right.
They can talk faster to each other and get stuff done quicker if, I don't need to be in the conversation, then they're,
That's so wild. Or do they all have are they smoking like filtered cigarettes, wearing like horizontal striped shirts and stuff?
Not quite. They're not quite that French, but they're pretty French.
Are they even really filmmakers then?
Are they even real? No, I mean, Christina Klebe. So Christina Klebe, who's in Two Witches, was the one that recommended me for the part in Two Witches. They had another actress and she couldn't do it anymore. And so they needed someone to like take the role. And so she's like, I think I know someone. And she recommended me, and I will be forever grateful for her for that, because it brought me to them, and they, I think, are just geniuses and fantastic humans as well. They're so kind and encouraging and like just there's no ego. They just want to make the best film possible. And that's, everybody's ideas are heard and, incorporated if they can be. And there's nobody that's like, better than anybody else. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lovely set to work on. They've just been great experiences. But so I don't know. I don't know why they talked, I know, a little bit about like, it's hard to make films in France. I have no clue on that. I cannot speak to that, but they're doing it here. So whatever they're doing is working. So.
Well, they looked out. Y'all have a great collaborative energy. I'm always impressed with the versatility you bring to these characters. And I think being paired with like these directors, they're doing different stuff. Like it almost comes in the guise of like the typical, back when you could make like a movie for like a couple million and it would have like, they would take risks there. Yeah. It feels like that to me. Like they're doing, like I was talking to Uncle Frank for a while about how they almost feel like they're doing like a new wave of like Italian horror or something. Like there's something a little like quirky about them. Like like Traumatica's just about to come out. Terrell, I think this is going to air the day before it comes out. So I don't want to ruin anything.
Thursday. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it. That
but there's
scary.
A choice.
It's good.
It's good. And then you're watching it and you're just like, the problem with horror fans is we become so kind of jaded. And then, when you're a fan like Terrell and we get together and we're talking about tropes all the time and you acknowledge them immediately, you kind of can tell where we're going to go throughout the whole movie in the first 10 minutes.
Period.
And then with Traumatika, it's like we're like, wait, oh, what do we do? Like it constantly kept me off guard. And then by the end, I could not believe the ending that we got.
Oh,
And
I
it's like,
know.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude.
It's so. Oh yeah.
It's just so different. Like
it
tropes,
is. Yep.
like normally, God, you can't really talk about it. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a character in that movie that if they popped up in any other film, they would just be immediately punished for existing. And they kind of are like a straw man argument against people you don't like. Yet it's like, well, it's so interesting. I don't know. I think you're a great fit for these movies, and you bring a level of like, I don't want to say professionalism, although that is what I'm saying. It's just like they need somebody with your chops to kind of validate their films. Like it's a great marriage. I'm so glad y'all found each other.
That's so sweet. That's very kind. I appreciate them giving me the opportunity to do something different. Because the industry can see you one way or not really give you the opportunity to like really be able to go places, and they've given me that within their films and also just on set to be able to, like I said, like explore and like try and go as far as we possibly can. And they're willing to, like you said, take risks in that. And then if it doesn't work, they cut it or whatever, but
yeah.
Or at least we're trying. And I feel like they, it's an exorcism movie, but possession movie. So
yeah,
there could be those tropes. And I feel like we try to do something different with it. And like, not just like, cause I can't be Reagan. Like so, I wouldn't want to ever try to do somebody else's performance, but try to hopefully bring something of me to it. So thank you. That's very, very kind of you to say.
Rebekah, I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked now that I've talked to you for a little while about how humble you are.
She is. I told you that.
No, but I thought for sure, just like your kind of robust filmography and how much you've done, that you would be kind of God. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about podcast. It's so weird. Like, who the fuck are me, Terrell, and Evan? Like, we have a little bit of push because we work on Film Fest and we do other things. But I always try to imagine podcast guests showing up to Johnny Wolf and his buddy Zombie Bob or something. It's like, who the fuck are these jerk-offs, right? And it's like, and then basically they're just horror fans who get to, for just the weird media world we're in now, are like talking to people who put a lot of like blood, sweat, and tears into stuff. And to me, in my head, I thought you would be one of the more like buttoned up kind of professional, like, oh, I'm career oriented. I'm doing this because career stuff. And yet I'm almost like, I think you shook me with the Twilight answer. I'm confused why you're like, I could have never got that role. Like, because I disagree. Maybe if you just like were a mouth breather, you could have been the lead.
I'm sorry. I had to bring it up. I was doing my research on my girl Becca.
Yeah.
No, but I mean it. Like, to me, and again, Pierre and Max rule, but I don't know what kind of impact they would have if they didn't find you. And then to be a recommendation, I mean this, like, I do think you elevate these works. And then I'm looking, I don't know, I'm confused. Would you say you're like a confident person or?
Sure.
What's your sign? What's your sign, Rebekah?
I'm Aries.
Aries. Okay,
hey,
just like
shout out
Evan.
to Aries. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Love it.
What's your birthday?
April 17th.
April 3rd.
Oh,
All
nice.
right.
Clock it. Okay, cool. Nice.
Russell, I think it's always like there's always the imposter syndrome.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that Meryl Streep still to this day, every movie, so her agent said that every movie she does, she calls him 2 weeks before and goes, I don't think I can do this movie.
Really? She's an icon.
And not because she's not like, can't do it as schedule wise, but she's still like, I'm not sure that I can actually do it. Like, actually do justice to this part. And so I'm like, all right, then we're in good company. If she's still feeling that after however long she's been acting, and she's the pinnacle of like a career. I mean, and she's even said in interviews, like, cause you're like, people have asked her, like, how does it feel to have this many Oscar nominations? And I think she has like the most out of anybody. And she's like, every time I'm like, all I'm thinking about is people are going to go, oh, her again.
I feel like part of the difference between like an artist and a celebrity, right? Because people like The Weeknd are out here doing like that movie that Terrell reviewed on the podcast, and it's like that guy has no business being like acting, you know, like what the fuck is he doing? Like, but then you have a real artist like Meryl Streep who, you know, for all intents and purposes has done it. Like there's no like. That's about as successful as you can be, you know, and like she's still doubting herself. I feel like that's like a true artist. You have a passion for the art that you're doing and for the craft, you know?
Right. And knowing that like you're never done, like you can always get better.
Yeah.
You know, when any actor scoffs at like going to class or like, oh, look at all these actors that didn't, you know, that are just naturals. And it's like, okay, like, you know, hardly anyone that is really truly successful is a natural and has never been in any class or coached or anything. While there is a natural ability there, most actors are working actively on it. Unless you're on a set every day, then sure. But how do you do that if you never get any feedback or you never, you know, you're just telling yourself you're great? And that's like, that's wild to me, because it's like, I never want to be like, I'm as good as I can get. No, like I want to, hopefully every movie I'm like showing something different or improving as a person, as an actor, like doing better work, because otherwise like, I don't want to just stay like in a stagnant, you know, in a place that's like, well, she was better 5 years ago or whatever, you know. Of course we're going to have hit or misses, like, cause not everything works out, but
sure.
You know, hopefully the goal is to like keep improving. Joaquin Phoenix was, I just listened to him on a podcast when he was promoting his movie, and he just like kept making things about like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, and I don't think he was saying it like as a, you know, ironically, or like, I really truly think he feels that like he's like been blessed obviously to do what he's doing, and he's so wildly talented, but he still feels like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just hoping this works out, you know? And I think that's a lot of what we feel is like, we work on it and we show up and we're like, hope this works. You know, hope they edit us well. Hope they direct us well, or
it's
whatever.
Interesting that you referenced Joaquin Phoenix, because I think he does sort of have that same kind of humble nature that Russell, you know, is saying. I do feel like you have to.
I think Joaquin, I wouldn't let that dude in my house.
Really?
Actually, I'm gonna go back.
Way.
I think he's got that kind of like, this actor could like flip. Like he
does crazy.
He's barely got a grip.
But he has control, like Rebekah was saying. I feel like all those roles, like the "I'm still here" thing, all that was fake. He was control he had over the situation. Like, I feel like he really, at the end of the day, and every time I've seen him, like, because I listened to, I don't know, probably not the same podcast. I don't imagine you're like a Theo Von listener, but
that's exactly where I
was that it? Okay,
wow,
great.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that episode was great, and like I think that's one of the reasons I like Theo's show too, is just because I feel like he never talks to somebody, you know, like he's very good at disarming somebody who might have been kind of had a front up, you know, because he's just so genuine. But yeah, no, I do feel like that was an interesting reference, just because I do feel like you have that same sort of humble.
You guys are very
nature.
kind.
Very humble.
Next time I come on and be like, what's up?
Yes, I'll be here for that. So tell us about Traumatika. You know, it's coming out September 12th. What is can you give us like a little tease of something that you thought was that we don't know, like maybe the behind the scenes tea or something that's, you know, kind of fun to share? I don't know, just to get people excited. I don't know.
Like, what is some fun tea behind the scenes? Well, I'm sure. I've listened to quite a few of their interviews, so I don't know if they said this on. I've been stalking everybody's whatever they're just. It's fun to hear what they have to say about it, because, you know, like, we talked a lot, but that was like 2 years ago, you know, and so it's fun to hear their process, and like, because, you know, they're hiding all of if they're feeling stressed, I don't know it, you know, they're hiding all of their behind the scenes, whatever's happening. So I like love listening to like them talk about making the movie, because it gives me so I'm starting to produce myself, so it gives me a lot of insights to like how this work. But the foot sucking scene.
Yes. Oh goodness!
So when they first brought the foot in, it did not look real.
It didn't.
Well, it was so pink. I was like, we were like, this is no way. This is a real foot. Like, it doesn't. Like, no one is going to buy this is her foot. And we were trying to put makeup on it. And there was like a hot second where I was like, are we going to have to use my foot? Like, and I, you know, for me, it's like, it's fine. I mean, I'm not the one having to do the sucking.
Yeah, the sucking of the feet.
Right.
It was more for Sean O'Brien's person that I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, it's like, it's going to be weird, but like, it's really weird for you because you're going to have to. So we made it work. We made it the fake foot work. So anyone listening that watches it, never fear. It's not my foot.
Okay.
They're worried. But the best part was I was in the scene with him so I could give him reactions. And so of course Pierre's like up by me and Max like by me so that we can like, and I'm giving him reactions. And then they had him do something and they didn't need me. So I was still sitting there. They wanted me to be silent so they could get whatever. And Max is recording and there's a great video. I'm sure they're going to release it where he like pans up and it's just me and Pierre just laughing. So absurd. Like, and Sean just goes, I mean, he just goes balls to the wall with it. Right. I mean, he
went in.
After it. You know, and like, good for him, man. And he hasn't done a lot of horror. Like, The Veil was his first really like horror movie. So I was, you know, like, because this poor guy that's coming in is like, what film are we making? What is happening? And he, you know, he went for it. And so we were just like dying. And that was like one of the few times we got to laugh because for the most part, it's a great experience, but it wasn't fun to film a lot of those scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Hold on. So, now, before we move on, when you're about to volunteer your foot for something like this, for the better of the movie, which is proof that it's great that they found you, does anything run through your head about, oh, is my husband going to fucking be okay?
No, he's so cool. And like, we know Sean, and Sean's the nicest, like most respectful. You know, him and I are really good friends. And so no, that didn't even cross.
I don't know. Everything I just heard was a red flag. I try to, in my head, I try to imagine if I'm married, if my wife was out there, I couldn't do it. I mean, I told you all earlier, I'm trying to be more vulnerable.
It's hard. It's hard.
My core, the insecurity is ripe. And I would just be like, I'd be like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a good actor. They're friends. I'd be like, this is all. Oh, it's
he all sucking on Oxy's feet.
And I think back to the Pulp Fiction conversation, which I strongly disagree with, of the take of the feet are one of the most sensual parts of the butt. I'm not with it. Like,
well, if you're Tarantino,
it's a foot. Like, it's you know, like it's not like you're like rubbing up on somebody's ass or something. It's a foot. You know, like
community, they would disagree.
Yeah. Well, people like feet. Don't people put big feet on the internet?
Feet, and I don't get it.
Cash out. Like, people get money for
they do.
I have a Wiki Feet page, and I don't have any bare feet. They're just all me in shoes, and I'm like.
And people like that. So crazy. I'm sure. They nasty.
You know, it's funny because you asked that, Russell, because first thought for me always is like, if the shot is going to look bad, it's not like I can't do that. Like, if they were like, well, we'll do the best I'm like, no, just use me. Because it's my name in the film. So at the first, like, foremost, I can't. Because at first it was like, oh my God, this looks terrible. Like, it just was so pink. I was like, no one is going to buy this as a book. Like, they're going to immediately know it's fake. And so they were able to put makeup on it and make it work. But I would have done it. And only because it would have taken you out immediately.
Yeah.
If you saw that foot and it looked like fake, you would have been like, I'm out. They couldn't even make it look real. Like, people are so harsh these days. They're very unforgiving of things, and it just immediately would have. So I was like, I got to do it, but I didn't have to do it, so we're good. You know?
No, I respect that though. That your mind went to your artistic integrity first. You know, before that's cool.
Yeah, I'm a big obviously safety first. Like, everyone needs to be safe. Everything needs to be feel comfortable, but I will do almost anything if it makes the shot look great.
Yeah.
And that comes down to like the goo is chocolate syrup.
Oh, they're trying to make it taste good.
Yeah. So it was good. But Pierre was like, so really, and I can't do his accent, so I'm not going to do it.
Try, please try.
Try to do it for fun. You having fun? Let's do it.
I'm like, let me get it. He's like, so I really need.
Yes, there you go.
If you think you could open your mouth and go in your mouth, that would be awesome. I know it's going to suck for this moment, but it's going to be great. And I was like, okay. And then we've been joking we joked the last month that he goes, remember how hard that was? He's like, but it looks great. Because everyone's using that still in the movie, of
yeah.
Yep. And he's like, see? He's like, I knew it was going to suck, but it was worth it, wasn't it? I was like, yes, it was. It was funny. I came home that day, and the only thing because I don't tell my husband a lot about, he likes to be surprised. So I don't tell him a lot about the movie. Like a lot of times doesn't know a lot, doesn't even know the plot. He knows like the premise and that's it.
Yeah.
And the only thing he said to me is like, why do you smell like chocolate? And I was like, I'm just going to have to wait.
Okay.
So that's like one little tidbit. And then another little fun fact really quick is the, which I know is going to it's been brought up a lot. So it's probably going to be in the forefront of people's minds is the booger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah. So that magic came from, we were done with the scene. We were moving on. He's like, I think we got it. And because I've learned as an actor, as soon as they move that camera, you're done. Like you don't get another shot. They're not going to move it back. So right before he went to move it, I went, I think I could do it better. And he's like, I was like, I think I want another. Can you give me one more take? And he's like, okay. And I found out later they were like behind, but that's how amazing they are. Is they were like, we'll make it work. She wants another take. We'll give it to her. And because of the prosthetic, and the emotion, I couldn't sniff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It just happened and I couldn't stop it. And I knew as a Abigail would not care. I couldn't be like, I couldn't be messing with it because she just wouldn't care. And I tried to do that and then it stuck. And when we called cut, he's like, that's the take I'm using. I'm like,
oh, damn.
that magic came from just like them being open and like us trying another, because you couldn't plan something like that. You couldn't plan it if you wanted to do it. And and every screening I've been in, during that scene, people have a visceral, loud reaction of like, oh God. But it's so perfect for their film. And like, in that moment, it's just like gritty and gross. And it's like, that's what it's happening. So anyway, that's another little fun fact.
Remember that when you start producing and you're over, and they need one more take.
Yeah.
You gotta grant it to them.
I mean, I always, and now unless we've done 20 or something, if an actor really feels like, because I did that on The Veil as well. There was a scene near the beginning of the film, like when I first come into the house and we were going to move on and I asked for another one. And then after we called cut, he's like, thank you. Cause that was the best. Better. Like that was, but because sometimes as an actor, you feel like if you're doing an indie, you only get maybe 2 or 3 takes, maybe 4 if you're lucky. And you've spent, however long working on the character, from a couple weeks to months. And in this case, like I had a month to not rehearse, but to like go over her. And you get there and you're like, that was it. Like you've spent all this time thinking about it and then you're like, the scene's over so quickly. Yeah. And then sometimes you're not fully released. Like you're still like what we call like feels up here and not like fully, like you can feel it literally here and it hasn't come out. So that's what I felt like. I was like, oh, it hasn't come out. And I was like, I got to do it again. And so it's just, knowing as an actor, you get experience and to like, okay, I got to ask. And if they say no, they say no. But which I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They're just like, no, we don't have time.
Yeah, they said, no, we don't have time. And I was like,
all right, moving on.
Damn.
But yeah, Traumatika, I can't wait for people to see it. It's been getting great reviews, though. People are liking the film. That monster, the guy who plays like the demon, he's really good. His movements and whoever created
that's Max, right? That's Max.
Oh, really? Max. Oh, yeah. He didn't even say that last time, did he?
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't think he did.
That's not a spoiler because he said it.
Yeah. I'm sure we can look it up. But no, he did a great job. So shout out to Max.
Originally they had someone else, but they couldn't do it or something. I don't know what happened. They fell through, and so they were like, "What are we going to do?"
Max is like, "I'll do it."
And then he said which is they were like, it was easier for me to do it than to explain to somebody what we wanted.
Yeah,
because he's like, we knew what we wanted.
Yeah. That makes sense.
3 hours of makeup, so putting an actor into 3 hours to just run around for some scenes, is you do it, of course, but it makes sense. I was like, I get it. Like, I totally get, and he's great. So, and there was some stuff we filmed that weren't able to use, but I have some good behind the scenes videos of him they weren't able to put in the movie. But
I know what Trill's gonna be bugging you for.
Yeah, I want to see those. maybe later. But I do want to. I'm hoping there's a cool Blu-ray release for this too, like all your other.
I hope so. I hope
and a nice cover and bonus features. That'll be great. But yeah, Becca, this has been awesome. I'm so glad you finally came on this show, and I hope you had fun.
I did have fun. I hope people will check out the movie. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now, so I hope they will carve out some time. They
got to. I'm gonna be posting about it. But
it's a good, 84 minutes, not even a lot of your day.
Yeah, because a lot of movies nowadays 3 hours long, and it was like, they do not need to be this long. But yeah, yours gets straight to the point, and it's good. It's scary, it's creepy, and it has a underlying meaning. People need to go watch this. Traumatika.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Before you go, I just want to know if you can tease something. I know you got VHS coming out. I cannot wait for that. But anything else in the works you want to tease and plug all your socials and all that good stuff so people can keep up with you?
So we just wrapped a film called Swipe that I produced. My first feature I produced that I'm also in. That's Sean Whalen. He's my business partner that, he's in Traumatika as a small part of Traumatika, and he is the director in that film as well. We did Crust together. That's out now. So this is our second working together, and then we're working on our next one that we can't talk about yet, but hopefully we'll come back on the show at some point to talk about.
Witches.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Two Witches Part 2.
Yes.
I'm playing.
Well,
I need a sequel.
Yes, we had a lot of people have been asking, where is the sequel? And I'm like, that they want it to be a bigger movie. So understandably, it's being worked on. So hopefully we will be filming it next year. What else? I'm like, what else do I have going on? I finished that. And then I have some other stuff in development that I haven't started filming yet. And then of course, we talked about The Veil, 2 Witches people can watch. Crust is out on Amazon and Tubi as well. I have another little sci-fi movie called The Other Kind that may be coming out next year. So
you are busy.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm like, girl, I wanted to ask you if you would do a found footage movie, because that'd be so cool. Are you into found footage? You know what that is?
I have never done one, but other than sort of Traumatika in a way, as far as
kind of, sort of. Yeah.
And VHS is kind of filmed that way, except I can't say anything about it.
Don't get in trouble. Yeah, we'll bring you back. I hope.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, come back.
I have never done one. It would be terrifying and cool.
I'm
like, don't put me with the camera.
You want to be the other? I see.
I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. I'm not the best, but I would try.
Well, right. We've kept you long enough. Rebekah, anything you have in the future, please let us know. Yeah. We're fans, and I know it looks like, you're a guest on the show and we're just saying nice things, but I really do think we're speaking for horror community. People who are getting attached to these films, it's you first. And then they look back and they discover same directors. So
that's facts.
You're
doing great. And
we've been talking about you a lot, girl. You're great.
You mentioned earlier, and I forgot I was going to mention it when you said, you going on like a Johnny Moe and his friend podcast. But I love going on these because you guys are the fans. You're not every interview I've done has been lovely. Everyone has been lovely, but sometimes it's their job, it's not because of they necessarily love horror. It's that they revere interview me with movies. So it's like, they're happy to have me on. They're very complimentary. Everyone's really nice. I'm not anybody that's like less than lovely, but I also love doing these because you guys are like the heart and what makes us be able to make our films. That's what makes be able to do indie films, because studio films are going to be fine. Like, people are going to go see them. They're going to make the money over the time. But indie films can kind of get lost in the shuffle, and there's so many of them, and it's hard to kind of like rise above and stand out in any way. So you guys like being fans and promoting and pushing it, and like being fans of me and the guys, and the community is what makes us be able to do this.
Facts.
And that's like so lovely, and so I'll always come back.
I mean, and I think the people who are into movies too, they know that like indie movies is where the medium gets moved forward, like it's not in studio movies, so
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but thank you for coming on.
But Becca,
this was fun.
Becca, did you want to plug any like socials or websites?
Yeah,
or
you
anything?
can find me on Instagram at Becca BEKAHK. And it's funny because it's only because Rebekah Kennedy was taken. Like, that was, it was gone.
Do you
And
go
then,
by Becca? Because I do.
Becca. I mean, friends call me that. Anyone can call me that. It's funny because the only thing that's weird is like when I meet someone for the first time and they call me that, and I have to remember that it's because my social media says that.
Oh, yeah.
And because I like anybody can call me that. It's a nickname. I do not care. But it's always jarring because I'm like, oh yeah, like, because it's usually, people that know me, it's because it's my social. But literally it was the only reason I made it that is because my name was gone. And when I started Instagram, I thought like, oh, this platform will never take off.
And
here we are.
What my name is. Like, no one is gonna be on this and on this, on this platform in 5 years, and here we are. So now I'm stuck with it. So and then on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, I'm on Rebekah Kennedy, and then I'm on Facebook as well, and I am on TikTok.
Oh,
shit! Shit!
I'm on there too, but I don't really post it on there.
Yeah, but I'm terrible at posting, but I'm starting to try to, because, the movie's coming out. So I'm trying to, so I posted my first video the other day in a long time. So if you want to check it out, I won't hate if you leave a comment, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe some more coming because, trying to get I saw somebody, the actress that's in the Strangers that's coming out, and then the next one that's coming out.
Yeah.
She made a great video that was like, they when you have to make TikToks so people go see your movie. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, I feel you, girl. That's what
It is a weird world we live in now where that's like the case,
What's your TikTok?
Rebekah L. Kennedy on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We'll put all those two in the description if you want to go see these videos.
As other places, but I'm not smart, so.
Yeah, I'll look for it. All right.
Well, we got you.
Yeah, I'm excited to when you inevitably get done promoting the movie and veer off into TikTok dance videos and the algorithm. So,
I feel, Russell, when you talk about feeling insecure, and like the most insecure is when I'm on there. Like, I'm like, I look so stupid. Like, this is the most. I was like, I feel like a moron. How do people do this so confidently and so slick, and they look so cool? And I was like, I look like a dork and like feel like the biggest, so anything I put out, know that behind it is me going, this is terrifying.
Well, Rebekah, they do it so confidently because they are morons. All right, on that note, love you. Please come back anytime you got something.
I will.
We'd love to hang out with you.
Thank you so much for having me and
Thank
chatting.
Yeah, this was great.
Listening to me ramble. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Until next time, this is Footage Foreplay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye. Cool. Bye, Becca.
Thanks for listening to Footage Foreplay. If you enjoy the show, please consider leaving a review, sharing it with a friend, or simply hitting like. These small gestures are a great free way to support this mayhem, and if you find some footage we should be fondling, email us at footageforeplay@gmail.com. Check back every Tuesday and Thursday for new episodes, and remember, don't skip the foreplay.